let's talk about the power of love.
Yay!
Episode 8. Episode 8, darling.
Yes.
Season 1 is over.
Yes, but we're ending on a lovely note.
Yeah, lovely note.
Yes.
Oh. Okay, but let's get into it.
Yes, what are we talking about today?
Love.
Love and connection.
Love and connection,
Yes.
indeed.
I think the millennial curse, and probably for a lot of other generations as well, is that we were raised by Disney.
Yes.
And Disney told us that there is one true love.
Mm-hmm.
That one person, that one prince, and your life's main purpose and goal is to find that one true love.
Yeah, and that the prince is going to come to save us at some point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we neglect these other parts of our life that can also offer us a lot of love, whether that's the things we love, other people that we love, the places we love, the actions or activities that we love, the movement that we love, whatever it might be. So many people in my life, me, everyone I know has spent way too long in relationships that weren't fit for them or didn't suit them.
Yeah.
Because they've been scared of what happens if I lose that romantic connection.
Yeah.
You know, what do I have then if I don't have that?
And it's not even like only romantic. For me, when I see a connection, it's also a connection with work. It can be a connection with the career. So I forced myself into a career that I thought was ideal, but that was not fit for me. I forced myself maybe with some friends that I thought were friends, but that were not fit for me either. And it's all kind of relationship, all kind of situation, all kind of environment. You know,
it's
it's
a
not
connection,
only
yeah.
it's exactly all about connection. So yeah, and when you look at it like that, the forcing yourself into some type of love, it's very easy to figure out what is the magic ingredient to go against that. And I think maybe I'm going into it too soon, but I think the magic ingredient to go against that is to first find yourself.
When I was doing some research for this, I was reading various like writings on love and that kind of thing. And I one thing that came out that I really liked this idea of those movies and that narrative and that old blueprint is all around the search for love and the finding of love. And it kind of misses this, as you say, the key ingredient of you can learn how to create love and how to make yourself into the perfect vessel for love if you focus on yourself and how to give and receive that love. And then you don't even have to worry about the search. The love will find you as soon as you become, you know, a beacon of it yourself, as soon as you are in a place that you can kind of radiate that for yourself.
Yeah, you become a magnet. Your heart become a magnet. And then that's what happens. You don't chase, you attract.
Yes,
Yeah.
don't chase, attract. Exactly.
It goes with the version of yourself that you become or that you want to be.
With that narrative of the quest or the search or finding the one, is that it puts way too much emphasis on that, like, you know, getting someone to lock you down or like finding that person. And then it's like, okay, cool, I'm done now. But actually that's kind of when the real work actually starts. And yeah, like this idea of we've been taught that the big challenge is to find that love, but actually the real challenge is learning how to love, how to sustain that love, to grow that love, how to deal with that love as it kind of shifts and evolves over time. Because I think that's another kind of myth from that fairy tale is that happily ever after just happens.
It just happened like that.
Yeah.
You get on your horse, go to the castle, and that's going to be fine, don't worry.
There's not one Disney movie that deals with what happens after the wedding, you know?
Can
it
you
always
imagine?
ends with the wedding. And then what?
But then can you imagine if that happens? They make a Disney movie about what
Them
it
being
really
getting
is.
divorced, or the or how to deal with
Cinderella's
somebody's midlife crisis.
Cinderella's divorce.
Yeah, Cinderella's career meltdown and midlife crisis.
I would love it. Actually,
Exactly.
that would be a fun thing for
Yes.
Disney to do, because then again we would relate
Yeah.
in a way. And
Yeah.
how the prince left Cinderella to go marry a man.
Yeah, the prince wanted to explore outside of the boundaries of one true love.
The prince is a bisexual. Sorry, girls.
So indeed, we don't explore the alternate endings from Happily Ever After. And I mean, do you know Esther Perel? She's that famous sex and relationships therapist, but she's absolutely groundbreaking. She's written many books. She's originally Belgian, but I
Okay.
think she lives in the States, if I'm not mistaken. But she's really like an expert. She's like the voice on like modern love and dating. And she always talks about how to maintain love and intimacy and erotic energy, which I think is like, I mean, just starting there is already interesting because it already kind of expands this definition of love as not just, okay, cool, you married someone or you found someone. No, it's about that energy exchange. It's about how do you grow together? What do you do when you know the fairy tale like is simmering down, and how do you keep that connection alive? How do you sustain intimacy when you're going through different challenges? Also, this idea that like you know, as people, we all grow and change and evolve into different versions of ourselves.
Exactly.
And you have to find a way for love to match you in every era of that transformation, which goes for maybe your partner, but also your friends, your connection circle as a whole. You know, is like, if I think about love as an energy that serves you over a lifetime, you kind of have to think about what are the different aspects of that energy that I can explore or that I want to invite in. What are those kinds of connections that I want to nourish? And how do I fit that into the different parts of my life over the course of my lifetime?
Yeah. I love what you said, that love is energy exchange. And also when you talk about evolving through life and then being surrounded with people, situations, you know, does that only come then naturally and it kind of sorts everything out as you grow? Or is it work also? And I
well,
get it's
yeah.
a bit of both.
Definitely, because I think that's also, yeah, like that's what another quote from Esther Perel, my queen, that I love, where she says, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your relationships. So are you investing in those relationships? And what she means by that is that, again, I think a lot of people take for granted that, you know, love is just this unconditional, natural energy. And as much as it is natural energy, it does take work, and it does take, you know, it's difficult. It means you need to see and accept people in all of their fullness, you know, like you're not just going to experience the good parts of a person. And I'm talking here now for like, you know, romantic love, but even friendships, even, I mean, I don't want to say we love our colleagues, but that's unprofessional, but you know, like even like any relationship that you have, right? It's like it's work.
It's work.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I think that's also a big challenge that a lot of young people have now, is that we live in the frictionless era where we are so used to ultra convenience. We're used to, you know, we want a connection, we just go on an app, we swipe. Next thing, we're meeting someone at a bar.
No friction.
And then the minute that becomes inconvenient, or that we have to put in a little bit of effort, or that it doesn't go exactly the way we want it to, it's like, okay, bye. Ghosting.
True.
Ghosting you. That's another thing that our generation is struggling with, is that we've been almost trained by our hyper digital existence to expect that everything should be easy.
Yeah, easy. True.
We shouldn't have to put in effort for anything.
When you talk about that work that needs to be done, yes, there is us. We need to do work, to go out there, to meet people, to put our energy in relationship that we care about.
Yes.
But there is also, again, this work that we need to do on ourselves. Because once we do that work, then it's easier for us to get connected to the right people, the right energy, the right situation once again, you know? So there is work to be done for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree, because I think it's once you do that work on yourself, that is how you build that resilience, and that, you know, you're much more able to deal with, okay, like, so that person is not like the most perfect ideal version of a person that I could possibly imagine. That's okay, because I don't need them for everything. I don't need them to validate me. I can validate myself. And yes, just to be very clear, I think boundaries are a very important concept. But like, I think that another thing that our generation is struggling with is like, we've kind of therapized ourselves into oblivion, where we you know, we kind of are like, oh well, I have such a high standard of, you know, there's a little bit of this energy of like, well, I don't allow this type of energy or whatever, which and again, like, obviously we don't allow toxic energy, obviously we don't allow people to hurt us time and time again, but also I think we need to have a little bit of grace, or a bit more grace, for the messy imperfection of human error, you know. And I think, like, again, in this age of AI, you know, if you're talking to a chatbot every single day, and the chatbot is validating you and telling you that you're absolutely right, and never challenging you, and never in a bad mood, exactly. Like, how do you stand a hope in hell then, when you like trying to form a connection with a human person, and this person is challenging you, or not giving you this perfect answer, or not agreeing with you all the time, you know? And if you don't, like, I think if we don't allow for like that feeling of discomfort, or it doesn't always feel, you know, so easy, and if you're not okay with that, you just like don't give people a chance, you write people off, and then you find yourself lonely.
We are humans. We need to feel all kind of feelings. And I feel that's true. Sometimes we just want the good feelings, but that's not possible. And that's how you grow as well, like through hardships sometimes. So you need to feel that, you need to feel all the emotion, good and wrong. And then that's how your heart grows. And yeah, we are experiencing this life on earth to feel it all.
The old blueprint was really the fairy tale, the Disney version. You know, you spend your life searching for that one true love. You find that true love. You know, you have one soulmate in this life, and that's the person that you need to find. You find them, you live happily ever after. I think we've debunked that blueprint. Yes. I think in terms of drawing the new one, what to me feels like a helpful framing is this idea of expanding that definition of love, and expanding it, first of all, expanding that partnership idea, you know. And I think, you know, as the generation that sort of, we've had our own reckoning with queer culture and things like, I mean, I was seeing an article on Cosmopolitan talking about, is non-monogamy getting backlash again, and is heteroflexibility back, and everybody's sexting with AI, and helpful text to unconfuse your situationship. I mean, basically so all that to say, like, it's crazy out there, but the definition of the realm of connection is really expanding.
Yeah, expanding, that's for sure.
And I think that's cool, because it means that, you know, again, you have so many options than just that one very narrow definition of love. So if you haven't found your one true soulmate, which doesn't exist anyway, but if you haven't found that person, like, that's okay. Like, you can still engage in this energy exchange in so many other ways. I find it quite inspiring when I see these, you know, you have these little, again, signals in culture of like where people are sort of exploring this in different ways. The one thing I came across recently was this guy who he's living in San Francisco, and he's started this project called Live Near Friends. And the idea is that, you know, so many people who are living in cities feel isolated and feel alone. And they would love to, you know, his business, he's basically built a business around setting up sort of property projects. I guess it's kind of like a housing project, a community housing project, where you can become like a group of friends that goes to him, and you're like, hey, I'm looking for something for 10 people 4 kids, and then he will sort of fix the right property setup for you guys to all kind of like live together. But I mean, you have all these sort of different community living experiments
That's
all
so
over the
funny that
world.
it really happens because we've always talked
It's the
about that with my
dream.
friends.
Yeah.
We've always said that one day when we all retired, we're just gonna, buy a big house and all live in there together, and there is gonna be some nurse this and there taking care of our old asses.
The
And
Golden Girls.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the golden girls.
Exactly.
That's the life we want.
Yeah.
That's for sure, and that's very nice to see that it's happening.
It's happening for
because
sure.
yeah.
Millennials are not going to retire like our grandparents. We are
No,
not
for
going
sure.
to nursing homes. We are going to create, I think, we're going to create the communes of our dreams. But all of that, I think, speaks to the expanded definition of love, which is that if you have the people that you love around you, and it's not just that one romantic partner. Like I sometimes hear women who are a bit older and who are feeling the pressure to have kids. And I understand that that's a very, personal struggle. But the one thing that sometimes comes up in that conversation is they say, okay, but who's going to take care of me? If I
Yeah.
don't have kids, who will take care of me? Or if I don't find a partner, who will take care of me when I'm old? And I think, again, that's a real question. And we don't want to grow old alone, but there's so many options for
there are
how
so
you
many
can find that
options.
community.
Yeah,
So
your friends.
Yeah.
You are growing old with them, so you're not
Exactly.
gonna be alone.
it's up to us to, again, put effort into those relationships and cultivate those connections so that you are surrounded by people that do want to walk through life with you at any stage.
Yeah, and that's in these moments that you actually harvest the fruits of your labor. I would say that you invested, all your work in those relationships, because in moments of hardships, you can see that these friends, the family members that you love or that you showed love to, these friends that you showed love to, they are there really to help you when you need it the most, and maybe when you are at your lowest, or because you've shown them so much love, then when you need it, they are there for you.
It's the exchange.
That's the exchange, exactly. So yeah, it doesn't need to be transactional. You don't do it for that to happen one day. You never know. You do it naturally.
Yep.
But at the end, it's very rewarding not to think about it. Do it with your heart. And yeah, just know that even if it's not directly from them, something else will come to you because you've shared that love, because you opened your heart, because you've shared some energy out there that is coming back to you for sure. So be nice to everyone, love everyone, even the people that you don't know, because that energy will come back to you. When you smile to a stranger that is not smiling at you, and then it comes back to you with a smile, or maybe not, but sometimes, like most of the time, it does. When you compliment someone you don't know, well, the response to that most of the time is a compliment back, but you are not waiting for it.
No.
You are just genuinely,
You're just expressing.
just expressing what your heart really wants. And I think that's really what love is about, is really expressing what your heart is whispering to you, because your heart whispers. That's something that I heard and that stayed with me like for so long, and that's why you need that work on yourself. Your heart whisper, to know what your heart wants. You really need to quiet the noise all around. And there is so much noise, with everything happening in the world, AI, blah 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 blah, so you lose yourself. But then finding your way back to your heart is really like the key. And share what you find in there. Once you share what you find in there, it's gonna first of all become so natural for you to share it. And then after, the energy that goes with it is so expanded that what comes back to you is just crazy.
Yeah.
Again, don't chase, attract, darling. That's the first thing I told you.
That's
on
the first
that
thing you ever
dance
said to me.
floor.
Yeah, so true, so true. Yeah, and I think that's also a nice way to think about it is it's not about what you are getting back, because the gift of love is what happens to you in the act of expressing it. You know, it's like, it's about like finding another person to love. It's like, it's not about what they're going to do for you. It's about who you can become and the experience that you can have by having that chance to love them, you know?
Talking about love, what has love has been in your life?
What love has been in my life? A lot. I feel very blessed. I think I'm definitely a people's person when it comes to love. So I love my family, I love my friends, I love all the different chapters of friends that I have. I love my partner very much. And all those people, I think for me, oh, you know what, we should talk about, like, this idea of love languages as well. Because for me, it's really about, I think I'm about quality time. I think that's the thing. And I love just hanging out with people that I love. And usually there's food involved. I think that's how I show love a lot.
Yes. That's a way to show love. That's for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. Like I want to, my dream is just have people at the table, different people every week. And we're all just telling stories, talking about our lives. And
that.
just doing that consistently, you know, that's like, that's for me all the love I need.
And I've always said, when I see you, I really feel that you're surrounded by it, you know, but it comes from you, you know, a lot. And when I see you surrounded by your friend, you really can feel that, you know, that you each and everyone care for each other, you know, so that's very like refreshing to see. And once again, I'm sure you've done it so naturally, and then that's how it comes back to you. But that's funny that literally in the real world, we can literally feel and see it. So that's beautiful.
Oh, thank you, my darling.
Yeah.
What about you?
Me, I have to say also that I've been very blessed with love, especially growing up, you know, with my family. It's really like a house full of love, you know, and especially for me, growing up as gay kids who wore makeup, dresses, since I was 2 year old. So I am very blessed. Like, I have the chills just to say it, because that's really something that I felt at home, you know, that I was not feeling outside, you know. Now it's my turn? No, it's not my turn. But it's just like, you know, it was just so natural for my mother, for my father, just to see me with a dress. And then for also my brothers, you know, no question were asked. It was just the normal. And then as soon as I was stepping out of home, the society was telling me that I was wrong. So can you imagine if I didn't feel that love in the home, what it would have been for me? And there are people like that out there, you know, rejected by their own family, and then that were rejected also by the society. And so, yeah, I've been blessed to receive that much love, because it kind of compensated with the love that I was repressing, not only for someone else, because I was not allowed to love, you know, someone from the same sex, you know, in the society, in, like, for instance. But I was not only repressing that love, I was also repressing the love for myself, because I was told by the society that I was not normal at some point. It's just today, you know, we are blessed that things have changed, that, you know, we see queerness, homosexuality like a very different way. But I was very blessed too, that at that time, my parents were, and my family were so open-minded with all of that, that they let me be whomever I wanted to be. And that really made me the person that I am today. I am taking that love. I kept that love in my heart. And today I am able to share it with the people I care, you know, and I will always be there for, you know, the people I love. And then they gave me a big bunch that I kept in my heart, and that I can share it indefinitely. You know, it's kind of like that I feel what love is about. because it's an infinite source when you decide it is.
That's so beautiful. I can absolutely see that in the person you are as well, you know, and I think
Thank you.
I think in both of our stories, it sort of feels like that is kind of one of the lessons of love, is that the love that you give will shape the person that you become, because indeed you wouldn't be the person who's so proudly themselves and so uniquely and, you know, unapologetically and confidently like radiating the energy of, you know, there's only one Alvio. And I think that's because you were so validated and you really had that amazing foundation.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, like that's like, you are probably, every person is kind of a reflection of the love that they are able to receive and cultivate and give in life. And I think that no matter what you've been through, and of course life is always full of ups and downs and pain and loss and heartbreak, but that infinite resource of the well of the potential of humans to love is always available. And so at any point in time, you can decide to tap into that, or you can decide to learn how to work with that in different ways, you know. I think one thing we didn't cover was the ending of relationships, and the way that our culture processes that is that it always feels like a tragedy or like a massive loss. And of course it's painful, and of course, but I think there's also like such an invitation there of like, what, you know, what if it's not just this heartbreaking loss, but it's actually, you know, it's not that the relationship failed if it didn't last your whole life. It's that it served you, it came into your life for a reason, it served you for a purpose.
For sure.
And not every relationship is meant to last, you know, all the way to the end. And I think we also stay stuck in relationships that aren't serving us anymore.
True.
Because we are so terrified of, you know, this narrative of, oh, but if it ends, then that's like the worst possible thing that could happen.
What am I going to become?
Yeah, who am I without this person? And again, that goes for every type of love.
Yeah.
Change in a relationship can be an opening for new growth rather than just a loss, you know?
I love that.
It's up to all of us to kind of, you know, weave what that tapestry looks
So
like for
love
us.
makes you grow, makes you expand again.
Is there a love that speaks to you where you're like, I want that kind of love? It could be the love from friends. It could be the love from
what type
Pretty
of
Woman.
love?
It could be the love from...
I've always wanted something that would challenge me in a way that was a bit different from me. And maybe that's why actually I never really clicked with all these Disney princess and prince kind of situation, or I hate romance movies, you know, because it's too cliche for me. And I hate what is cliche. And I don't do it because I want to be a rebel about things. No, I just do it because I want things to challenge me. For instance, like what I look in a relationship, it's someone that has totally different like center of interest, that for sure will not steal anything from our wardrobe, that, you know, doesn't care about that, you know. Yeah, it's just like, and actually that's funny because it translated. Like today, like I'm with someone who is totally into, you know, motorcycle. Like I'm all about going out, wearing makeup, doing my hair, dance, and he's all about, well, you do you, I do me. You know what? I'm just gonna stay in my garage, work on my motorcycle, so it's ready for us to go on a trip in Italy. You know, I'm just like, and I love that. It's kind
perfect.
of, yeah, it's perfect. It's challenging, you know, because in a way it pushes me to, first of all, see something else, discover something else, have another look on what life can be, you know, because it challenges you in your discussion, or sometimes we really have like completely different views on the world, on politics, on what's happening, you know, but I love to take it and then see it through his own eyes and just challenge myself. Well, why don't I understand what he think, you know, it is? And then I look at his sources, I look at my sources, I see how I see the different narrative. And I think that's very interesting to see all these different layers, you know? So for me, that's really something that I look forward into any kind of relationship, actually, even friendship. And that's a real challenge. Yes and no. because yeah, I think that's what makes strong relationship for me, if you can challenge me a bit.
Oh, that's lovely. Okay.
What about you, actually? Any movies, any romance,
I'm trying to
any
think. Well, my favorite movie growing up was Pretty Woman,
yes.
which is where Julia Roberts plays a prostitute, basically, and then she meets.
She was my idol.
She meets. She was just so adorable in that movie. And then the thing is, though, yeah, I mean, in the movie, she does get like saved by this rich businessman that comes to be her like Prince Charming. The older I get, the more I'm like, okay, like, you know, that was basically the Disney movie in another form. So I don't think I want the Vivian and Edward type of love myself, but that was my favorite growing up. And I think Shrek and Fiona. I mean, I didn't see the third and fourth movie, but I think they had a good foundation.
Yeah, even me, the first one, I don't even think. Darling, I don't like what is ugly. I only like pretty things.
That's the
Shrek,
point of
Shrek
the
is the
movie.
epitome of ugly, no? Or I don't know.
That's the whole point of the movie, is that they didn't need to be beautiful to be worthy of love. They just found each other in the swamp.
Okay. I'll leave it to you then.
Everybody is worthy of love. Okay?
Yes, everybody is worthy of love. Of course. Even the swamp guy.
What I'm taking forward for the new blueprint is that love is not something we need to find or wait for, but it's a connection that we can create in many different forms. And the more we give, the more we have.
Yep.
The way that we love others starts with the way that we love ourselves or relate to ourselves.
Exactly.
Love was never meant to be frictionless or easy. It takes work, effort, and investment. And it doesn't need to be perfect or permanent to be meaningful.
Love is and will be something that you will be remembered for, I feel.
Wow, yeah. Love is the ultimate legacy of your life.
Exactly. And I see that because, and I've realized that actually not so long ago, because I've lost one of my best friends a few weeks ago. And what comforts me, yes, I will cherish every moment I spent with him, you know, but what I can still feel today in my heart, it's the love that we had for each other. And so, yeah, it really made me realize that love is what, you know, you will be remembered for. So just be an embodiment of love each and every day, you know. Just speak love, act love, be love in general, because that is what you will be remembered for.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. That is, it's what remains of us after we are not here anymore.
It's all about love, darling.
That's
love,
it.
love, love,
And
love,
now
love,
we know
love.
a little bit more.
Last fortune cookie of the season.
The last fortune cookie. Okay, let's have a look.
Yeah, what does it say? Message from the universe. What do you want to tell us today? Dedicate yourself with a calm mind to the task at hand.
Okay, that sounds like time to go on summer holiday.
Yes. Quiet the noise.
Yes.
Take some time.
We are going to recharge, rejuvenate,
Exactly.
rest.
Listen to our heart.
Yes.
And
feel the love.
And feel the love.
Yes.
And talking about that, we've really felt your love, guys.
Yes. It's our last episode of season 1. So we just want to say, if you've listened, if you've sent us a message, if you've commented, we love you. We love you for being here. And yeah, we will see you again.
Yeah, we'll see you again. Have a nice break. Summer, sun, get naked, go to the beach.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We want to hear all about it.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.